Peace, love, and light, Aquarius, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ty, and I'm super happy to have you. Hopefully, you'll take a look around, like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. I truly appreciate all of the love and the support. Hopefully, you've already subscribed to the channel. You guys, if you don't know how this works, it is a general reading, so everything won't resonate. Please take only what resonates, leave what doesn't. Also, keep in mind that the roles are interchangeable and you should place yourself and everybody else in your story where you see fit, okay? I'm going to get right into this. For whoever this is for, I feel like in the recent past, Aquarius, you may have experienced just feeling kind of stressed out over a certain situation. For many of you, I feel like this is a situation pertaining to your finances or your career, while others of you, I feel it's a specific move that you are considering or you are feeling called to making, and I feel like it's fears that are holding you back right now. Like there's some sort of attachment to a certain space or something that is holding you back from making this move. And what Spirit wants you to know, in whatever case, it's that you are blessed. You are blessed, you are protected, and you are being guided. For some of you, you may have experienced some sort of disappointment where either you found out that a position, if this is pertaining to work, a position that you wanted or you had applied for didn't come through for you. Something didn't come through for you. For others of you, this could have been in a relationship or just an opportunity that in the recent past you may have been waiting for, and recently you found out that that wasn't going to work out for you. And so I'm picking up a sense of like rejection, and just a friendly reminder that rejection is part of God's protection. It is God's protection. Chosen ones are not rejected, okay? We are redirected, realigned, and protected. So for whoever that's for, if something didn't work out for you, it was not for you, and there's a better opportunity coming along. But I feel like, Aquarius, there's a need for you to really tune into your intuition. As an air sign, you are constantly in your head. I know this because I am in Aquarius. Okay, Aquarians are constantly overthinking, overanalyzing, and for many Aquariuses, we live in our heads, okay? And so Spirit is saying you need to get out of your head and into your heart, but more specifically into your intuition, because I feel like you are being guided by your intuition to doing something, and it's not gonna make much sense to you, okay? You're being given signs, you're having this feeling. This is something that's been really present for me really recently. A lot of you are getting ready to move, and it's something that I'm picking up right now strongly, right? A lot of you are getting ready to move from a certain location, a certain space, or recently have moved. And I feel like for many of you, there's an anxiety attached to that move, whether or not you're gonna be able to sustain it, whether or not it is the right move for you if you haven't moved yet. You could be considering moving and something is telling you that you've outgrown a certain space, but there are fears that are holding you back, okay? Others of you, I do feel like, you know, there's a fear regarding your finances, okay? You did in the pre-shuffle get, you know, the Sun card was the first card out, which tells me that you're going to be okay. Things are going to be better than you can imagine. So if something didn't work out for you, you got the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. Trust and have faith that you will be provided for. Remember that God provides for his children, okay? So stay grounded in yourself. And also, for those of you who have these fears of, you know, your finances, I do think that it's a wise time, okay, for you to really lock in with yourself when it comes to your finances. So really putting a limit on, your spending habits, being, wise in the sense that when to hold back on spending. It's kind of like that need versus want. Are you getting something because you want it, or do you actually need it? Because the Four of Swords here, you did get the Four of Swords, you got the Five of Pentacles, and you got the Three of Swords. Okay, and when I see this like this tells me that there may be fears pertaining to the loss of income, the loss of money, or you could have recently experienced where you're seeing either less money coming in, or you actually experienced the loss of a job. So I feel like many of you are could find yourself just like really up in your head, experiencing anxiety over finances. And so Spirit is saying, if the case for you is that you still have a job, you're still, you still have an income, then this is time for you to tighten up, okay? And set limits on your spending habits. And also, for those of you who are looking for an opportunity, right? Maybe an opportunity didn't come through for you with this Five of Pentacles, and that energy that I said I was picking up already of like a sense of loss or rejection is kind of like start looking at new avenues for yourself. The Knight of Wands says, explore your creativity and explore new opportunities. You can't expect for opportunities to come and knock on your door. You know what I mean? I know that Aquarius tends to be like the loner, like do the own thing, but you utilize the resources that are available to you. And also you have to get out of your comfort zone. Okay. Spirit is saying that this is a time for you to step away from, possibly, I can't get the word out. Spirit is saying that it's time for you to maybe take a pause, a break away from others or how you've been doing things. And so if you have been somebody who has been spending a lot of money and, you really want to be in the party and like, my grandmother would say, quiere estar en toa. You want to be everywhere. You want to be doing everything. Spirit is saying maybe it's time for you to be a little, frugal and reserved with your time, your energy, and your money, and refocus that on an area that is going to help strengthen your skills so that when this next opportunity comes along, you're prepared. And also, just with the Five of Pentacles, you want to, you want to have a little savings, a little something, a little cushion in case you find yourself in a situation where you do have some loss of income. Ultimately, I feel like you are going to be good, Aquarius, because the Sun and the Ten of Pentacles is here. So I do feel like, trust and have faith, be positive. The Sun says think positively about your situation, but also with the Knight of Wands, you have to take action toward the things that you want, okay? Others of you, I do feel like I'm getting a strong, for those of you who are considering making a move, transitioning somewhere, some of you are considering getting out of the country, and that's like what your spirit is telling you, and that's been really present for a lot of chosen ones, is leaving the state that you're in. You've outgrown a certain environment, and so I feel like if you feel like you've been, you're being pulled in different directions, with the Seven of Wands here, it says like, it's all right for you to say no to people. No is not a bad word. And let me tell you something, no is a spell. It is magic, okay, when it comes to manifesting. Because when you say no in order to protect yourself and honor your spirit, you are telling the universe, I am not willing to compromise my well-being to make someone else happy. I am not willing to people please anymore. So there's a need for you to say no, to certain people, places, or things, and understand that that is going to work in your favor. No is a complete sentence, and you don't have to feel bad about it, okay? You send a message to the universe every time you say no to something that is not in alignment with your spirit and is not in alignment with your highest self. In addition to that, there's also a need to release limiting beliefs. For those of you who are trying to accomplish something, or you want to call in work, you want to call in more abundance, the heart chakra is the chakra that you want to work from. So definitely hop into some heart chakra meditations, because that is where we manifest from. But understand that if you manifest from a place of fear, you're nothing is going to come into you except things that are going to make you fearful, right? And loss, and things that are going to give you anxiety. You know, you have to work through reprogramming your mind and how you think about things in order to call in that abundance. How are you thinking about your situation? You are supported, okay? I feel like some of you do want to make a move, and you are already standing like on a firm foundation, right? You already are abundant. It's about looking at the things around you that you already have, being grateful for what you already have, and looking at how far you've come and what you've accomplished. Okay, Aquarius, because I feel like many of you you've been standing your ground, like you've been fighting through stuff, you know what I mean? And Spirit is about to bless you, but you're in a state of transition is what I'm hearing, okay? And again, that might not be for all of you, but I feel like that's the energy for most of you right now. You know, spend time in nature if you feel called. Yesterday I went to the park and I meditated in the park, and it was amazing. So really making time with the Four of Swords here to honor yourself and do the things that nurture you and nurture your spirit. And, you know, that might mean stepping away from friends and family, and not engaging in certain activities that you used to engage in. I feel like that's another thing, right? Is like you could feel yourself separating from who you were, right? You feel like you're being stretched. But I feel like some of you are still trying to hold on to the old ways of being, because it's just kind of like you're so used to that you don't even realize you don't like it anymore. You've just been doing it for so long that it's just like the thing to do, kind of like going out and, you know, having brunch every weekend, or, you know, being available to everybody. Spirit is saying come back to center and check in with yourself. Do you really still enjoy those things, or are you just doing them because, again, that's the pattern? And for many of you, that's what's keeping you stuck. Okay, that's what's keeping you from entering fully into this next chapter. And also, I feel like with that, it's like you feel like, okay, it's time for me to move on from this. I'm ready to go, but your fears of not being able to cultivate the stability that you have already somewhere else, okay? So there's a need for you to release those limiting beliefs. The bottom of the deck, we have the Temperance card, you know, which is about balancing again. So work-life balance, also just like balancing how much of your energy and your time you give to somebody else. You know, it's not healthy when you're doing too much of anything, whether that be consuming too much or giving too much to someone or everyone else other than yourself. Also, I feel like with the Four of Swords and the Seven of Wands here, there's a need, to confront challenges, right? And some of you might just not want to disappoint people, and it's like, I don't want to say no to this. They invited me out and it's so-and-so's birthday and I don't want to say no because I don't want to disappoint them, or I don't want to look at, the fact that I have unhealthy financial habits. I have unhealthy spending habits, or, I have unhealthy habits in how I treat my body and my space. So there's a need for you to get honest with yourself about those situations. With the Strength card here, I also feel like, again, with this move, there's a need to be brave. Whatever the situation is that you're looking at, be brave. Have courage and have confidence in yourself. Some of you are afraid to put yourself out there because you're afraid that you don't have enough skills or you don't know enough. And it's like, listen, that's how we limit ourselves, right? When we tell ourselves like, ooh, an opportunity presents itself, is like, I don't really know if I could do that. If I know, God is not going to bring it to you unless you're ready. Okay, so don't block your blessings by second guessing yourself. Come on, Aquarius. Like, Aquarians on the bomb. We, even if you don't know something, we gonna know it. We gonna do the research. We gonna figure it out. And I'm not even talking about fake it till you make it. I'm talking about get the information, lock it down. It's like, say yes, right? Say yes, I do want that promotion. Yes, I do want that job. Yes, I can, because you can. Even if you don't have the information right now, Spirit is saying, you're going to find the information. You got time. I don't care if you got a week. If you got to sit down and cram and learn whatever it is, get that certification, get that, what do you call it? That 24-hour rapid certification, and lock down, lock in with yourself. That's what you got to do, baby. That's what you got to do. Okay. Let's dig into this. I don't really want to dig in too much to that Five of Pentacles and that Three of Swords. Let's dig into that Knight of Wands. Clarify the Knight of Wands for Aquarius. Thank you. Yeah, so we got the Nine of Wands, and it is in the reverse. So I feel like, yeah, there's a need for you to... you might feel like you want to give up on something, right? Like, oh my God, you're starting. I feel like this has to do, again, with you limiting your own belief, right? Starting to lose faith, right? I don't want to do, I don't want to go back there. Or I don't want to do this again. And it's like, no, baby, there's an opportunity that wants to come in for you, okay? Ace of Wands, this is the beginning of something. If you have an idea, if you have a spark, if you have something that you're interested in, you're like, damn, like, I'm interested in doing that. Don't like convince yourself that you can't by like talking yourself out of it because you're overthinking. Spirit is like, take action on it, okay? Because I feel like, again, you're holding yourself back. The Hermit hopped out, which is like, follow your intuition, Aquarius. Like, Aquarius, like, come on. You know you're intuitive, you are spiritual, and you feel things, and you have a knack for knowing things. Like, I just don't know how I know, but I'm cool with that, right? But there's a need to, once you know something and you feel it in your intuition, allow it to guide you. Okay, so this is not like the typical hermit, but usually the hermit has a lantern, and in that lantern is the star. And who is the star in the tarot? It is the Aquarius. It's the Aquarius card, which means have hope, have faith in yourself. Spend time with yourself to figure out what it is exactly that you want. And once you figure out exactly what it is that you want, you need to go forward with it. Look, the devil says you are stuck, but this is self-imposed bondage. You're stuck because you want to be stuck. You're stuck in this frame of mind. You're stuck in this frame of thought. I feel like all it requires is some planning. And some of you are just avoiding the planning. I heard avoiding the hard work. You cannot avoid the hard work. And even if the hard work is hard decisions, right? Saying no to somebody, saying, you know what, it's done. I'm not going to renew. For some of you, I don't know who this is for. I'm not renewing my lease here. Okay. And this could be not specifically pertaining to like an apartment. This could be pertaining to like a space, like a business or something like that, right? I'm not renewing this lease because I'm going to move. I'm not staying stuck here. I feel like I've outgrown this again, and these are unhealthy patterns of behavior and of belief. So I feel like you already feel like the environment that you're in, you're feeling uncomfortable in that environment. If you feel like you've outgrown a space, or like, if it's like a work and you feel like the people around you are just heavy and you're feeling like they're a little funny style, and you know what I mean, and you feel guarded when you walk through the doors, that may not be the place for you anymore, babe. And it might be time with that Knight of Wands for you to do some digging, figure out what you want to do, so you could get to it and do it fast, right? Justice is at the bottom of the deck. So some of you might be, again, this might be regarding contracts. A contract can be a lease to a new space or something. But also, this is about being honest with yourself. Are you being truthful with yourself about what it is that you want? What is the Two of Wands there? Tell me about that Two of Wands. Look, the Emperor. Yeah, so making a plan. The Emperor is like, come on, babe. Like, all you gotta do is make the plan. Once you make the plan, you're gonna body it. like you're gonna body it. Some of you, this is like planning to learn something, right? Get certified in something, become an expert. I don't know, just specialize in something, because the Hierophant, oh my gosh, the Emperor is a boss. It could be somebody who wears a uniform. You might be, considering, I don't know, maybe you want to go back and become a nurse. Maybe you want to go to, something that requires something that requires you to wear a uniform. Okay, that's not for everybody. That's just for some of you that came up. But this is like, if you make the plan and you take action with the Knight of Wands here toward that plan, you're good, you're safe, you're solid. You will create an empire for yourself with the Ten of Pentacles here, okay? And the Emperor, like, move forward on your inspiration, move forward on the things that you want to do, like, but you got to stay committed, because commitment is everything. The Emperor stays committed. And you know what the Emperor also doesn't do? The Emperor doesn't, entertain everybody. The Emperor knows when to say no and when to be like, yo, I got to put my phone on do not disturb because I just can't be bothered. I got to study. I got to lock in with myself. Okay, that's what the Emperor does. Bottom of the deck, we got the Queen of Cups. Spirit is telling me one more. Okay, one more to close out. Okay, Eight of Wands, change is coming, rapid change, okay? Some of you might be waiting to hear about something here, some sort of news or something, but change is coming, and I'm gonna tell you right now, change is coming whether you want it or not. So there's a need for you to prepare yourself. With the Ten of Wands, there's an end of a cycle coming. So some of you, and this is not for everybody, some of you are gonna, you're gonna experience some sort of ending, whether that be at a workplace. I'm not really picking up too much love here, specifically. I feel like these are career moves. This is about, your future. This is about, your passion projects or goals, things like that. And so I feel like some of you are approaching the end of something. So you want to prepare with the Ten of Pentacles, save your money and invest only in the things that are gonna produce a return on that investment. Okay. The Ten of Wands says, I can feel that you already feel like this is a burden, this is a lot, and it could be all up in your head, okay? But just know that, with when you feel that, understand keep in mind that every ending brings a new beginning, okay? So don't look at it like that. Don't look at it negatively, like, oh my God, what am I gonna do now? It's like God is saying, what you mean, what you gonna do now? I got you. If I'm taking you out of a certain place, it's because I got something better. That doesn't mean that you don't have to do some work though, okay? You can't avoid the hard work. Don't be all dreamy with the Seven of Cups up in your head. Think, like I did mention the Hierophant, right? Some of you need to hop into prayer, man. Some of you need to connect, but don't conform to anything. Don't, because I feel like there's also a question of like, the Hierophant is a religious factors and things like that. So I feel like some of you may just need to hop into prayer, connect with divine, connect with however you view, the Most High, whether you refer to God as God, Allah, Jesus, Jehovah, whatever it is. Connect, have faith, prayer. La fe mueve montañas. Faith will move mountains, you know that, but hop into prayer, connect with God, talk to God. Because I feel like you're taking on a lot and you're already feeling like, oh, like, what do? I need to get out. You don't want to have that. But just know that. Also, notice how she's carrying the 10 wands. They're not necessarily on her back. So I feel like many of you are carrying the burden of others, and it's time to put that down, okay? That's not mine. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't be bothered. There's nothing wrong with you being a little selfish or even a lot selfish when you have been giving of yourself to everybody. And also, like, you have a choice, okay? If you're staying in a certain situation or environment that you feel is not healthy for you anymore, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but I'm saying that you can work and you can get yourself out of that environment and you will be okay. With the Sun, with the Sun card and the Ten of Pentacles there, like, you're going to be good. You'll even find that this is a better situation for you, not just in terms of like feeling better, more positive people around you, but also it could be something that you end up earning more money doing, okay? Yeah, walking away. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Walking away. If it don't feel right no more, I don't care how much I got or I've done there. I feel like this chapter is closed. And if it's closed, as hard as it is to break away from the comfort that you've created in a space, and you know, because comfort is like the killer of dreams, man. Like you'll be comfortable, you'll create something, and it's like, oh, I'm good, I'm content, like I'm chilling, like I got no worries. Why would I move from here if like I'm good? I don't have any worries. Well, do you want more? And do you feel like the more that you want, like you can get it where you are? Like if it's possible to get more in terms of how you feel, and this is not about, you know, money, just about money. This is about a feeling. You could have everything and feel like you're just disconnected from that environment. And if that is you, if it's not fulfilling you anymore, if it doesn't bring you peace and joy and make you feel like, oh, like I wake up in the morning and I just look around and I'm in love with my life. If that's not the feeling that you have and you feel like you're missing something, then that is your sign to get moving. Okay? Aquarius, I hope this brought you some clarity. If you enjoyed this message, or rather, if it resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how. If you enjoyed the reading, please give me a like, and hopefully you will consider subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in a personal reading or my social media, all of that information is going to be in the description box below. I love you all so much. Have faith and trust yourself, okay? Sending you loads of peace, love, and light. Mwah.